welcome to this week's Three Fish on the Shirt. We're back again following the match against Walsall. We're recording straight after the game, pretty much. So it's at Walsall 0, Mariners 0, and a great point on the road at this stage of the season. No goals conceded yet. And I've got Steve Risley with me. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Dave.
And I've got Rossi.
Hello, how are we doing?
Hi, Rossi. I'm good, thank you. First things first, just get into our sponsors. Thanks, as always, to Winner Chicken Dinner. There's some fantastic competitions on the go at the minute. You can win a Renault Clio. There's some cash prizes. There's all sorts of stuff on there, from a few pence to a few quid. If you want a competition to enter, then Winner Chicken Dinner is your destination. Thanks also to 3Q, who have sponsored a prize package this season, which we'll be telling you more and more about as we get closer to doing it, as have Winner. They've also sponsored a big prize package, and I think you'll be blown away by the prizes and you'll want to be involved. So one thing we can say at the minute is, if you want to be involved, you must be a subscriber on YouTube. So please subscribe as soon as you can, and then that'll give you the first level of eligibility to enjoy entry to these competitions once they go live. And also, not to forget, Pips Chips, who are our food partner for the season. And thanks to Pip and Mark at Pips Chips, who honoured us last week with their three fish cake, which was absolutely fantastic, which is now a staple for the match days. It went down well last week, along with all the other great offering of food that they have on display on a match day. So shout out to Pips Chips. Lads, so let's kick off straight away with the game today. What did you make of that point on the road in game week 2, Rossi?
I'll take it. Obviously, I wanted to win, but Walsall are going to be up there, I think, this season. I think a lot of people have wrote them off early-wise. I see a lot of people predicting them getting really low mid-table and mid-table because Matt Sadler went. But I did say I predicted them about 9th because I think they will still be all right. They brought some really good signings in. Matt Sadler left, obviously, and Lee Grant's come in. And it's a whole new system. So I think they'll be up there. I think against your top teams in the league, you need to get minimum of a point anyway against them, and then obviously try and beat the rest. But yeah, it's on the road as well. 0-0, draw will do me.
We drew with them at home last year, so we've still got a chance to make the same number of points out of them as we did this year. Steve, David Artell talked in the week about Walsall offering more than the lumping it forward that they did last season. Do you think we saw that today from them, trying to play a bit more expansive?
Definitely. I thought both teams looked similar, sort of passing teams. I thought they sort of cancelled each other out to a certain extent, but I thought Walsall looked good at times, but I thought Town did as well. So I think a draw is a fair result, and I think definitely Walsall will be up there. Whether they can score, how many goals they're going to score, because apparently they had a terrible pre-season, didn't win a game. So we'll have to see. But they look quite good for me.
If you take the last 10 minutes out of their game 1, they haven't scored in the other lot. So,
yeah.
I mean, you can
so
see
I don't know
any team.
See how they go.
But neither team's conceded a goal at all.
Yeah, I think Town look good, solid at the back. But I think they'll both be up there, but I think Town will be further up than Walsall.
But Maldini and Churi had a good game again today. I'll take one of you each. Steve, give us your thoughts on Churi.
On Kachuri?
Churi.
Oh, Churi was
Geezer.
Geezer. He's excellent. He set the ball up for Sweeney's shot, our only shot. It was a lovely layoff. He just cruises through the game. He's quality. We need to keep hold of him if we can.
Got great awareness, hasn't he? When he's got the ball, as he moves forward, he's looking, and you can see he's got his radar out.
He hardly gives the ball away. It's just so good. Such a good player.
Just on that subject, I thought particularly with Kean Doyle today, early on, and others, I dare say, we seem to be winning the ball back quite a bit. The frustration was in these first couple of games, we've given it away quite a bit as well. If we can tighten up that and keep winning the ball, I think that'll serve as well. But moving on to that sort of toughness, I'll give you Maldini then, Rossi, to review from today. What did you make of him?
My beast. I love him. I've said I did a video about him when he first signed, and I said a lot of all the Grimsby fans have fallen in love with him, and I think you've soon seen he is a beast at the back. Controlled, calm under pressure. Can pass the ball. He pinged the ball over to Chaz on the wing today. But that McJanet, I think that's probably trying to get into his game. Artel's done it to McJanet, probably trying to do it to Maldini as well. But absolutely solid. Brick wall. I mean, there was that one shot that Walsall had, and literally threw his body in the front of it. Yeah. It went out for a throw, and I thought, he just don't let anything go past him. Honestly, I think he'll be one of our main reasons why, if we do go up, he'll be one of the main reasons why. Him and McJanet just seem to be really, really solid. When you look at them two, and then you think about the other centre backs that we've got, I just can't see people coming in. I know everyone's praying Doug Farm comes in. I just don't see it.
He's not going to dislodge him unless there's a reason to, is he?
No.
McJanet, now he's nicely shaven, looks a bit of a Terminator, doesn't he?
Just a bit, yeah. Looks like a cue ball, doesn't he?
I think he wants to be look harder than Maldini.
I think it's toughened him. It's made him look tougher, I have to say. Shout out to Christy Pym today, 2 clean sheets in a row. Can't argue with that, can you? I mean, he didn't have a massive amount to do in terms of big shot stops and everything, but it's got to be good for his confidence, hasn't it? And he's had a rough run of it.
Yeah, it's good for his confidence. It's good that he's got the clean sheets under his belt. He'll be helping people that will put him in his EFL team and fantasy if no one's not doing it. But I mean, like his last 2 games today and against Exeter, he didn't have anything to do really. So I get the fact he's got clean sheets, but if there's more at him and he's done save after save or anything, then obviously I'll be applauding him a lot more. But he can only do what's been put in front of him. So
it's almost testament to the defence as well, isn't it? That we're well enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's David Artel's point after the Blackpool game is, you can't blame him for everything if the defence is cocking up and putting him in a difficult position. So we need him at the minute. So we need him to be keeping clean sheets, and he's doing so. Good on you, Christy. Let's see more of it while you're in Golf Town. So we wish you well, even though we were concerned, I have to say. Other notable things I mentioned him briefly. Doyle, what did you make of Doyle today? Either of you, I don't mind. Jump in. Don't be shy.
Go on, Rossi.
No, let me do it. Ridiculously good. It's because of his age as well. What is he, 21?
Yeah, 2021.
He doesn't look. He doesn't act or play like his age, if that makes sense. He looks very more experienced than he is.
He does.
Runs around the pitch, gets the ball, passes the ball. I think he'll be a very, very, very good player for us as the years go by. Hopefully, he stays for that long.
He plays with swagger, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I was rooting for him to score from long range in the first half.
Yeah,
got it between them 2 Walsall players, took it on, and thought he's going to shoot it, see if he can get a shot off. With him being like that, and he kind of reminds me a bit of an Evan Corey, where we got rid of him and he's kind of come in and kind of took his kind of role, I guess. I think with that, Evan Corey probably wouldn't have shot in that situation.
Yeah,
you rarely saw Evan Corey shoot from distance.
Yeah.
Where Doyle just seems that he wants to be here, there, and everywhere and make a name for himself.
Yeah, I just think
he looks like he
plays with no fear, doesn't he, Steve?
Yeah, I was going to say he looks like he's got confidence for a young player coming into a team that's pretty established. A lot of players in the town team now have been in there for a bit of greenies and that, but he's come in and he looks really assured. That's the first time I've really seen him properly, and he looked really good.
Goal for Port Vale against Tranmere. Sorry, Tranmere fans. Since then, we've now got a massive rivalry between us. We thought we'd make sure we got that in.
If that was 1-0, that was a while ago, just so you know.
I thought you were keeping us in touch with him. You were going to shout him out.
I did. I shouted it out when you were on side.
It's tough being on the radio. Tough being a radio star. On the radio, I was talking about the new lads. I mentioned Cian Doyle. Ewan Morgan came on. I still think he looks a handful, but do you think he's maybe snatching at stuff at the minute?
I thought we looked a better team when he came on with Cookie off up front. We looked a bit more. Never saw Cookie much at all.
I think if we
today.
can get our shooting boots on, we're going to be a really good side.
He's going to be a cracking signing, I think.
I think you can see by how anguished he looked when he missed.
Yeah.
He really, really wants it, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely looked good when he came on. Looked a better team. Don't know what's
on,
about with Cookie today, but
on the slightly negative side, I thought Greeny was quiet today mostly. I didn't think he was poor, but I just thought there was a few sort of giving the ball away and not the marauding Greeny we've seen of late. Did you think any different to that?
No, I think it looks very flat last two games. I don't know what it is. Usually you see him bombing up and you see him trying to create stuff. It's just like today I said on my review that I've already done, it's out, that especially towards the end where you need to be fizzing the ball around a bit quicker and tempo needs to be up, and you need to, especially against the Walsall side or any of the top teams that are in the league this season, you need to be quicker and not slow the ball down. But Greeny got on the ball the last 5 minutes or so, and again he gets the ball. It's too slow that he gets the ball nicked off him, or it makes the pass and it don't go where it's supposed to do. The thing is, Greeny, he runs and runs and runs, and realistically he lasts about 70 minutes, and then he's puffing out his arse. It lasted the full 90 today, so that maybe a player factor into it, but maybe just one of them games. Like last week, it maybe just one of them games. But he can't be superb every game.
No, I agree, and that's why I say he wasn't poor. He's just he wasn't top notch Greeny, which is you're used to seeing it more often than not. So it's unusual, isn't it?
The thing is, he's set a standard now, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's the thing,
yeah.
And we expect that every week. And when he falls below it, which he has today,
we notice.
You notice it. And
another frustration with a kind of up and down performance is Chaz. He's King Charles when he's on fire. Today he was largely anonymous, and the 1 minute he could have made a big difference to the game, he totally fluffed his lines. Thoughts?
He should have. I don't know. He's missed.
You've got to hit the target on you from there.
He hits the target. He's in.
Yeah.
You got a defender on the floor, and the keeper's already dived one way.
Yeah.
Put it to his right, and he's in.
It bounced. I think Greeny touched it.
Cookie. Cookie ushered the ball to him.
So it bounced up. It was in the air, but it was a nice height. And he should have just buried it. Yeah. He might have been able to take a touch.
And again, we know his quality. We know what he should be able to do with that, and that's why it makes it frustrating. I have to say though, there'll probably be nobody more mardy with himself than Chaz himself. So just got to lift himself, and it's gone now. To try and get on it.
But aside from that, he wasn't great today. He gave the ball away a bit again.
Yeah, and to say Walsall were having, I think they had a few more shots than us. There weren't that many on target, were there today?
No,
3, I think. They had 2. We had 1. Was that right?
Yeah.
They had 16 shots, 2 on target. We had 13 shots, 1 on target, which was Sweeney's. Yeah.
So if we're going to be more clinical, the numbers of shots we're having is great. We're getting the positions. Like I said, that we need to be more clinical. We need to be. We'll probably do it again one week and have a 7-0 again, and then not score for another week or two. But on the whole, I thought it was a reasonable away performance at this stage of the season. To have a win and a draw under your belt after 2 games is a decent position to be in. It's a good start, and it's something to build on now. We're on to Fleetwood next week, but before we move on to talk about anything else, the great following again, 1,000 plus fans behind the goal. We saw Levi behind the goal early on. Hi Levi, hope you enjoyed the day. Saw him fairly early on, and Lisa from the club, I saw her in the crowd early on as well.
York have equalised. Sorry,
couldn't hear the Walsall fans on the telly. It was all town.
Didn't hear any of the Walsall fans.
Couldn't see the Walsall fans either.
Oh no. There's one point in the second half. I thought, there's a load of them in the same shirts, and it looked like white shirts and red collars. When I realised it was the sun shining up a load of empty seats behind the goal, and I thought, wow,
I can't believe how many. It's the first home game of the season, and you just no one sat there. Like,
Yeah.
the whole
No.
stand on that far side was
Yeah.
bare.
It looked like a
Yeah.
reserve game, didn't it?
Yeah, I get it's 12:30 kick-off. Maybe that's got a factor to it, but
We talked about this the other night when we did the guess the attendance, didn't we? You know, there'd be factors dragging it up and factors dragging it down. You know, the town away following drags it up. The first game of the season should drag it up. Then you've got the Sky thing and the early kick-off dragging it back down again potentially. And it'd be interesting to see what the final attendance was. I've not seen anything yet.
No, I've not seen that yet.
We shall find out.
Shrewsbury just equalised against Barnet.
All right. Referee had a reasonable game. We thought today.
Yeah.
A couple of things,
Yeah.
but nothing too major.
No, I thought he let the game flow. I thought he might have booked a player early on, a couple of players maybe early on. He didn't. Kept his
There
cards
was
in.
only two bookings, wasn't there? The two fullbacks, Connolly for Walsall on 74 minutes, and a couple of minutes before that he booked Sweeney, which was questionable. It may well ought to have been a foul, but had the foul on Vernon been given, it wouldn't even have been a foul.
McEwen said in the commentary, he said the referee was very close to the play all game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and so he can make good decisions and see it properly. So I was quite impressed with the ref. Don't think what
was your take on the penalty incident with Doyle?
I thought it was a correct decision by the ref.
Yeah, I wasn't screaming pen until I saw the replay and I thought, you've seen him given, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had people message me. They said, "Oh, it's a Stonewall penalty," and that's not from Grimsby fans either. But for me, I just said just a bit soft.
You've seen him given, haven't you? I'd have been surprised.
Yeah, well, I've seen him given. Yeah, I think they both jumped for it. Ish. Doyle's gone for it anyway, and then Matey Boy's gone next to him. But I don't think there's much in it.
Yeah,
I
didn't pick it as a foul first time round. When it went second time, I thought, there's maybe a shout for a pen, but I wasn't. A pen. And the other one I saw a comment about after the game was Amalazor on the edge of the box pulled down. They were saying, he's through. It should have been red. He may well have been through, but there was too many defenders close to for a
that was a correct decision as well. I thought initially, not correct decision, yellow card, and
realistically, he probably would have been through because he's pacey his own. If it would have just drifted through him, but no, I don't think there's enough to be red.
Too many other players.
Too many defenders around it. So I thought the ref was excellent. I'm just going to see what the name was. It was
Matthew
Russell. Yeah.
And he was a former National League ref. So when he heard that at the start, I thought, oh Christ, you know what the quality was like in there. But they cannot. Some of them can develop and become better. So.
We didn't see the players moaning at him too much. You know what I mean?
There's a few little. They're trained to. Let's be honest, aren't they?
I thought they were trying to get some of our players booked. The guy in midfield with his arms up and not doing the yellow card thing, but he was trying to get Maldini booked. I think. Maldini was great on Dallas today.
Yeah, and Dallas, I don't rate the guy. But anyway, that's by the by. One thing that was a real big positive to see was guest of honour, Lord High Admiral Sir Alan Buckley was guest of honour at half time. So him going around and obviously get a good reception from both sets of fans because he's their leading goal scorer historically and one of our most successful managers. So it was good to see him about.
Imagine if we get him on the pod.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You never know.
To get a crown. To get a crown for him.
Yeah. He's fishing. You sing when you're fishing. Any other observations from the match today?
No, I think it's just one of them games where it was just two top end teams in the league. Both want to go for it, but nothing really came of it. I think Grimsby in general, defence solid, midfield solid. Definitely. Just the front three at the minute, it just seems to be lacking. I think at the minute, don't know why. Don't know if it's just maybe some changes need to be made personnel wise. Maybe just change something up. But I think that's just what we're lacking at the minute. Just some goals, and that's about it.
Sharpness, in front of the
goal.
I think Cookie seems to get caught with the ball under his feet and in a bit of in two minds at some point
Yep.
during the game today when he got an opportunity to do something. It was like, oh, I've got it. Ooh. But
I think you might see, well, the chance that Morgan might start a game.
Yeah.
But would he
not
start
really.
over Cookie or Justin?
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's got two choices, hasn't he?
I'd put him in instead of Cookie. So with.
Yeah.
Give him a run. It looks good.
I just think with Cookie, you just want him to get a goal and then he'll be flying. I think he's a big booster.
McEwen said in the commentary again, he said how fit he looked.
Yeah.
Cookie.
No, he does look fit. Yeah.
No,
He looks so lean.
Fits a butcher's dog, and he? I mean, he didn't get a full pre-season last time because he was out. Came back, didn't he? Came in partway through the season and came up with us. So Rossi's just had a bad result for his fantasy team. By the look of it.
My Oldham defender just got sent off.
Do you get minus for that? Yeah.
Brilliant.
I've got Oldham on one of my teams. So I can't.
The joys of doing the pod while the game's going on. So yeah, good point on the road. I think is the verdict from us all.
Clean sheet, 2 clean sheets.
2 clean sheets in a row. Some
looking
decent
solid.
performances, mostly. The players that we've kind of moaned about a bit today, but in very loose terms, players we know are can be up and down. Or in Greeny's case, his standards are so high that an average game looks poor.
Yeah, I mean, some people might look at it and think we've only scored 1 goal, and it's a defender, and KB has gone. We've lost our leading scorer. Blah blah blah. But if we can start firing up front and keep our defence, we're going to be right up there.
But we've scored only scored 2 goals less than Walsall, who were joint with us on fourths.
Clean sheets though, so important. Keep them.
It's a way of keeping you're guaranteed a point, aren't you? To get a clean sheet, and if you can do the other business at the other end, it's fantastic. Anyway, so we await the attendance in that one, Rossi. We've not discovered that yet, have we? So there was a
no
1,000+ town today. Any players from their team catch your eye today?
I liked what was his name? Got his name there. Clark. Yeah. He looked tricky. He got past Rogers once in particular, and Pim made a good save.
That's is it Courtney Clark?
Courtney Clark, yeah,
good player.
He looked really good.
Rossi, anybody catch your eye?
Yeah, I can't bloody remember his name. Good start, isn't it? Their left back, number 3,
Connolly.
He had it. Who?
Connolly.
No,
number 3, Hancock.
Hancock, that's it.
He
had first half. He had a shot from range and just whistled past the post.
Yeah.
I thought he had a solid game all game. To be fair, a bit like Staunton, very attacking left back.
Mason Hancock.
Very very solid.
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't like Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he's done more good for Town than he has for most of the teams that he's been on with his little assist in the.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning that.
Right.
Plus the fact he won't come to us, which stuff him. So that's today's game. Pretty good point, as we've said. And we move on to next week. We're going to be playing Fleetwood next week, who are in action this afternoon at home to Gillingham. It's 0-0 at half time in that match. What are you hoping for in that game? Do you think we'll see a similar team? Do you think we'll make changes? We'll come to you, Ross, first.
No, I think it'll be the same. You and Morgan possibly come in. Don't think there's any knocks today off the top of my head. I don't think many people. I thought Maurizo was going to get a knock straight away, not long after.
Well, he was in the walls a bit in the first 15 minutes, wasn't he?
So I thought he might have come off, but I would have thought it'd be probably the same kind of team. Would you reckon Walker and Andrews might come in unless they are injured? I don't know.
Could do
as in come into the squad, not starting 11. But
the bench, yeah. I wouldn't expect them to come into the starting lineup, but yeah, certainly.
I think he'll start same team next week. No.
Did Jamie get a 1-game ban today for his dad taking the piss out of me last week?
Don't let you do a word.
Yeah, you can't play if your dad's doing that. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll look forward to that next week. Another home game. Again, pretty full again. Other than Fleetwood probably won't bring as many as Exeter did, but should bring 200 or 300, shouldn't they?
Yeah, sure. I mean, 363 for Exeter last week. But might be the same. Don't know. But it'd be about the right kind of stuff. They'll be in the corner again, won't they? So
yeah. Which gives us a chance to get a few more Town fans in behind the goal, hopefully.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they end up after today, because they won last week, didn't they, at Chesterfield? So they'll be looking to keep the run going. They've got a point today. If things stay as they are, obviously that's a long way from finished.
Yeah.
So, got any other thoughts about next week?
no,
It could be a similar game to today. I think it could be tight. That game. I don't think Fleet would have. They won 1-0 at Chesterfield, so they ain't conceded a goal yet. So
I think
could be tight.
until there's been a few games, you don't know who the toughest games are going to be and who the form teams are going to be. It was really tough last week, sort of picking out results and favoured players. But yeah, we'll look forward to that next week. So in the meantime, got a few people to mention as part of the pod today. I also have to say we've got a special guest after we've done with the ins and outs of the news. We've got none other than Mick Boulding, Quick Mick, in the pod this week to tell us all about his career in general, but focusing on the two big spells he had at Town of a season apiece and a little spell on loan in between. And that was a fascinating interview and a fascinating look into a player's career, lads. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was excellent. Look, great to see him. He didn't look a day over 30.
He's a young looking lad, didn't he? He didn't go down very well with those. There's only Rossi looked about on par with him, I thought.
So
yeah, he did look very young. He was no.
wasn't.
Noach what?
No,
Looked like going to headbutt the screen.
No chance he's 50.
He absolutely is 50. It's
He's 50.
He looks nothing like it whatsoever.
unbelievable.
But yeah, nice speaking to him. Obviously, I didn't know much about his playing time when he was out of Town because I was only a little nipper back then. But
all right.
you two codgers knew he was. So
no, but it was a great interview. Have a listen. It'll play out after we finish talking about this week's news and shout outs. So first of all, just want to shout out Rio, who's a friend of mine, him and his mum. He's 15 next week. He's a massive Town fan. He's the young lad who will let out Christy Pym at the Notts County match. He's at every game, see him every week. So happy birthday, Rio! Your 15th birthday on Monday. Tomorrow, as it'll be when the pod comes out. Last week we did forget to mention the first taster of our three fish cake, Emma, didn't quite make the edit of the of last week's episode. So I'm just going to play that in right now. So you'll see here Emma trying the first ever three fish cake.
Yummy.
And as you'll see, she thoroughly enjoyed it. For anybody who's interested in joining the Facebook group about based in Ireland for Irish Mariners fans, and Martin Dillon has got the Ireland Grimsby Town supporters page, which is a really good page. There's usually any sort of Irish links or anything like that to do with Town is on there. I'm a member. I dip in and out of it. It's really good. Really keen on the pod. So thanks to Martin and the guys based over in Ireland. And we also joined up with Walsall Fan TV. So if you want to nip back and have a look at that from earlier in the week, we had a bit of a preview with them, and look forward to welcoming Simon to Blundell Park in March when we have the reverse fixture. Another bit of news next week at the Fleetwood game. We've got an announcement, I think, before the game that in the 77th minute there'll be some applause for Stephen Stead, who recently sadly passed away, age 77, and his son Matthew and family will be honoured to see that happen, and encourage all fans to get involved with that. So we're sorry for your loss, Stephen and Matthew and family, and we wish you well. Also, in the week, got a picture of Pete Atkins' dog in a town shirt. I've never seen a town dog in a town shirt quite like this. Is quite something to see. But Pete's been in touch this week. He's been watching, not watching. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. I'll get him locked up. He's been listening this week while driving his lorry down the road to the podcast. So lots of activity. Last week we met lots of people out and about at Pips and at the ground before the game. We'll be at Pips again next week, so before the Fleetwood game. So we'll look forward to you trying out the three fish cake or whatever else Pips serve, and come and have a chat with us. We don't bite, and if you want to talk about getting your views heard about town, come and speak to me, Rossi or Steve. Like I say, just say hello. And even if you don't want to come and say hello. Tell us what you think about the show. Any other bits of news from you guys? I've got a couple more bits to go at. Anything popped up for you this week that you want to share?
I don't know if you're going to touch on transfers.
Go on.
Mark Shelton.
Yes, Mark Shelton is rumoured to be in talks with Grimsby Town from York City, having signed a 3-year contract at York not a few weeks ago. He's never played for him. Yeah. Sounds like an issue with Scott Lindsay and him not getting on. And that came from the York end, so that was put to him about Mark Shelton to Grimsby. So I know Grimsby are really tight-lipped, as Steve pointed out in the week. He's almost not worth asking David Artell about injured players coming back. He won't tell you anything.
Honestly, he's got to not ask him.
and that was, he did that to his own commentator from within the club as well. To be fair to him, as well as Matt Dean. So I think we'll not hear anything about that until it's done. But by all accounts, Rossi, you were saying it'd be a decent acquisition.
Yeah, I think Mark would be a great signing. I think one of Barnett's probably better players the last couple of seasons. Obviously, last season they lost Ryan Glover, Callum Stead. Slicker obviously went back from the loan club he was at, who was a good goalkeeper for them last season. I think Mark Shelton's another player that played really well for him. I think last season he played nearly every game. I think about 40 he played, 8 goals, 8 assists for his time in the league. I think before he played for Barnet, he scored 12 goals from midfield. So he can score goals by the looks of it from midfield. So I think it's a good acquisition to get, especially someone who's proven in the EFL now as well. And he looks like he's going to go to higher things, but now he's not with York. So I think York will do really well, by the way, still this season.
He's going to go to higher things if he joins Grimsby Town, won't he?
Definitely, yeah.
You'd like to think so. But I think it'd be a really good sign.
Yeah. He's 29 years old, isn't he? So he's not been around.
We've got quite a good bit of young players around there, haven't we? So a little bit of experience in there won't go amiss.
It'd be a good signing.
Yeah, with no sign of a goalkeeper on the horizon. We've had a few rumours, haven't we? I think the more clean sheets Christy Poom keeps, the more likely we'll make do and manage, if that's what it is. Maybe if he is going to be helped by the defence and do what he needs to do, then fair enough.
Yeah, I think Pim will be number 2. Cartwright will get fit again. He'll come in number 1. And that'll probably be it. I don't think Pim will go now unless we might get surprised until the end of the window, or January might come along and Pim will go and bring another number 2 in or something. I don't know.
The difficulty is he's rumoured to be on quite a fair salary. So if another team's coming in that's going to play him all the time, like a National League sider, they ain't paying what we're paying him.
No, he's on about $3,500 a week.
That's the rumours figure, isn't it?
So
a lot of money.
There's that, and obviously we've got Sonny Finch that's rumoured to come as well, striker, 21-year-old from South Shields. That's going to be interesting.
Interesting move if he makes it, because he's been moving from the Mariners to the real Mariners.
Literally. So he looks a good player though. I mean, 21. This is his second season at South Shields. Last season he played 7 games last season for South Shields, but he scored 7 goals. He's terrific.
What league are they in? South Shields.
National League North.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we go any lower than that, do we? Looking for players.
I mean, this season so far, I think he's playing today. Yeah. Pretty sure they're playing Merthyr Town. Might be wrong.
Yeah.
but he played one and scored one this season already as well. So maybe a good young prospect to bring in. Obviously, we know Artel's he likes to keep an eye on the young talent and bring them up through the ranks. So might be another good one.
Absolutely, and we look forward to seeing what's going to happen in that space. And like I say, time is ticking because is it 1st of September the window closes?
Yeah, something like
yeah. So in other news around Blundell Park last week, the fan zone had a bit of a woe apparently in lack of beer and service. So the Dr. Beers people have promised to make that better for next week. But no such problems at the new Imperial Club, where they were having a whale of a time last week, and we said we'd shout them out this week. They've also got a bit of a music on and aftermatch against Fleetwood. So if you fancy an aftermatch pint, the new Imperial Club, just along from Pips on that same block on Grimsby Road, are having an aftermatch session next week when we've played Fleetwood, and it's great to see you guys shouting us out after our meeting last week. So thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing you in future. The other thing about when we're at Pips next week, we will have some vouchers to give away for to get your meal free, get you a meal free. So we'll probably have some questions for you. Probably have to dance for it or bark for it or something. We'll make you do something.
Dance and bark. What channel is this for?
How many hot? How many three fish?
Get people to entertain us.
I say, how many hot three fish cakes can you eat in a minute?
Not many, because they are fucking hot.
Let's get them out of it. Go on.
Get them straight out the fryer, Mark. Quick. Yeah, I don't think we want the lawsuits from the Burns. And in fairness to what we did last week, it was really good. And it is largely thanks to Winner Chicken Dinner sponsoring our outside broadcast operation with the new microphones and everything like that. So thank you again to Winner who have been brilliant once more. Other quick things from today. Bit of an oddity. I've just been on Humberside just prior to recording to talk about Town. Massive shunting out of anything that's not Hull City today, because they've just beaten Man United, and it's not for everybody, is it, beating Man United? But we've done it. They don't like the banks of the Humber, do they?
No.
Yeah, they're like this side of the UK, do they?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I heard, I don't know how true it was, it's on Twitter, I think, that they were turfed out of or turned away from Forest Pines this morning. So I presume they're going down there for a pre-match meal or something, or whatever. And whoever set it up and booked it or whatever, so they got turned away. So that's not a great start. It's probably Sir Jim's probably cancelled it. Probably cancelled the club credit card or something. But
some of the Radio Humberside guys were saying that Marcus Rashford body language was terrible.
Yeah.
Before the game, he didn't look like he want to be there.
Yeah. I don't think he don't want to be there, though, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He's already said he wants to still go back to Barcelona. He don't want to be it.
Yeah. Would you be Barcelona or rather be in Hull?
Exactly.
I mean, Grimsby than Hull. Anyway. So yeah, the quite rightly the radio's pretty much full of that, but we did pop on to there. But what I hadn't banked on was all three teams playing. And what a shame, Scunny have got defeated again. So that's a bit of a shame. They've had a bit of a rough start to the season, haven't they?
Yeah.
Don't know.
What a shame.
Yeah, we're all gutted. Get the violins out. So we've got a guest coming up. Have we got any more things to speak about today before we finish?
No, I think so.
Right, we'll move on quickly to our guest. It's none other than, as I said, Quick Mick Boulding. Born in Sheffield, started his career in Mansfield, and then went on to play for Town and a raft of other clubs in largely this area. So we'll speak to Michael, and then we'll come back and say cheerio and look forward to next week. So over to our interview with Michael Boulding.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Well, welcome back after that review of the Walsall game. We're welcoming a guest now from the early 2000s. It's none other than Mick Boulding. Hi, Mick. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi, Dave. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We've got Rossi and Steve with us tonight.
Hello.
Say hello, lads. So, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. You were with Town back in the 2000s, 2001, 2002. Came back on loan in 2003 and then rejoined till 2004, playing over 70 games and getting, 25, 26 goals for Town. We'll come back to your Town career. First of all, Steve just wants to ask a quick question about your prior career, or prior to your career.
Well, I like Mick. Sorry. Yeah, just want to ask you about your tennis. That's what,
Yeah, so
I'd just like to ask you, how good was you, and how did you decide football over tennis?
so going right back to being a child, like ever since ever since I could walk, like just complete football. So everything was football.
Yeah.
And then I got to sort of 11, 12 years old and kind of drifted into playing tennis. I played a little bit with my dad, got into it, and then ended up going. I was at Manchester United at, I think it was 12. I think I was 12. I think it was around the time that Fergie had just started. I think he'd either had a season or it might have been his first season, and Man United were obviously sending scouts far and wide, and I sort of got hauled up with that first lot that went there. So I'd gone there, but in the meantime I was also playing a lot of tennis, and then I got to sort of 13, 14 and really started getting into my tennis, and then by 15, 16 I was on national squad. 16 traveling all over the world, so I wasn't playing any football at all.
Wow.
Decent junior, traveling world ranked junior, and then went on to the seniors. World ranked on the seniors, like top 20 in the country.
Wow.
Were decent, and then I can remember being in the States. So I was in the States and got like a bit of jet lag, and one of the coaches, and we were playing a lot of football as well. So all the tennis players, nearly all of them were obsessed with football, all football lads. So we were playing all the time. And we'd gone into, I don't know if you've been to the States, but Denny's, have you heard of the Denny's?
Denny's, burger place.
Yeah, it's like a breakfast chain.
Yeah.
Got jet lag, and then there was like a group of players, and there's me and the coach who both got jet lag, and we'd gone to a Denny's at midnight. I think we were in Atlanta or somewhere like that, and we were sat there and we're eating, and then he went, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What do you know what I'm doing?" He went, "What are you doing here?" He said, "You're unbelievable at football." He said, "I've never seen anyone as good as you who's not playing professionally. If I was good as that, I'd give it a go."
Yeah.
And sort of brushed it off. Ended up coming back, and in that time, in that last year, I'd moved house, and behind the house was a football pitch, and there was Sunday league games going on, and there was a team called Bradway. And I ended up going and watching them. And then I'd walk around to the manager and said, "Can I have a game?" And he was like, "Were you any good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he went, "Okay, come next week." So I've gone next week. He's put me on for the last 10 minutes, scored, and obviously shown a little bit. And then he was flipping out, come next week. And I ended up playing, I think I played that last year in my tennis. I think I played about 8 or 9 games, but scored about 40 goals for them. So they were absolutely loving me. And I came back. So I came back from America in May, and there was a scout, Ivan Hollett, who is unfortunately passed away this last year. Ivan, but he'd spotted me playing and invited me over to Mansfield. So I'd come back from America in May. By July, I'd signed for Mansfield.
Right.
So I still had my world ranking. And then the first anyone knew from tennis was when I scored 30-yarder, my right foot against Shrewsbury. And that was, I was like, got home, phone was like white hot with like, what's going on? And that was the first anyone knew. So I still, when I was playing football, I still had my world ranking. Tennis.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. So it's like I'd literally people don't really know, but I didn't kick a football for maybe 5 years, from like 13 to 18, and then from 18 to 22, 23, I was like playing a few like pub games and just playing like mates or like tennis players.
Yeah.
And then coming back from America in May, 2 months I was playing for Mansfield. Yeah. Yeah. So it was Billy. So Ivan was, and I always say this with players. It's like there's a lot of really good players, and I think with a football career you definitely need a bit of luck, and you also need people that believe in you. And I think Ivan, he really believed in me and he really gave me a chance. And then Billy Dearden, who was the manager, he really liked me as well. Yeah. And it's like when I look back through my career, there's certain managers that didn't like me, and certain coaches and certain people that you think they didn't fancy me at all, and you don't know why. It just doesn't fit. So I think it's really important for young players, because I think a lot of players, they take a couple of knockbacks, it knocks the stuffing out of them.
Sort of give up a little bit, like
Actually, I've missed a part out there. This is where my brain's gone. So
you remember that goal against Shrewsbury, all right, there, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't forget any goals. But yeah, no. In between that, I'd gone to Donny Rovers. So where Ivan saw me was playing.
I understand why you forgot that bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was actually a really bad experience, and this is the flip side of people liking you. So I'd gone there, and it was Ian and Glyn Snodden.
Oh yeah.
But it was Mike Newell. So when I was growing up as a youngster, I knew Emlyn Hughes really well.
Oh yeah.
And Emlyn like really, really liked me. He always saying like, oh, you should stick at football and blah blah blah. And when I switched, I talked to Emlyn, because I'd gone to watch Sheffield Wednesday and they were playing Chelsea, and there was a winger playing close to where I was sat. And it ended up being Matty Hamshaw, who I ended up playing with, who was like a really great lad. And I was thinking, I'm better than him. And it's like, probably a lot of people who watch football, they probably think I'm better than him. But I thought, I'm better than him. I could walk on here and I'd be better than him now. And I talked to Emlyn, and Emily went, yeah, I agree with you. I think you would be. And he went, go and train with Donny and Mike. So Mike Newell, he was finishing his career, so he said, Michael, go over with you. So I've gone over with Mike, and Ian just did not want me there. I don't think he wouldn't like we were doing sprints before, and I was like 10, 20 meters ahead of everyone, like the longer runs ahead of everyone, felt like I was playing well. And he used to just call me the tennis player.
Oh.
But then I ended up playing a pre-season game. He put me on as sub on 60 minutes and brought me back off on 70 minutes and was like, sit down, like that. So it was like complete humiliation. I can remember after the game having a shower, getting changed, and I was about to leave, and I said, Ian, what's happening? Tomorrow we're training that. And he went, don't call us, we'll call you. I can remember walking out, and I was like, oh my God. Luckily, Ivan had been at the game. He'd seen enough in 10 minutes, and he's got me outside the ground and went, want you over, like, what's happening here? And I was like, and he went, come and train with us. But what was funny with that was Donny were non-league at the time, so they were in the conference. A couple of months later, was playing for Mansfield, scored a brace, walking down the tunnel at the end, and Glyn Snoddins stood in the tunnel, and he was like, right, and I was like, all right, how's it going? You're okay? You okay?
Yeah.
It's football like, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's it. It's a couple of weeks in football is a long time.
Do you think sometimes it's egos where, like, maybe you weren't his pick, or and it was like, I want my own choices, or something like that?
I don't know. He was like, I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, but I think that he I don't think he was that focused on managing, and it was it was you do get players who've been really good players who still want to be players.
Yeah.
And it's a different thing when you step onto the other side. It's like you're the facilitator, I think, when you're a manager. And it's like the ones who seem to do well are the ones who kind of like sacrifice themselves rather than want to be the center of attention.
Yeah. So it's definitely a switch, and some can do it. There's plenty of great players who never went on to be good managers, isn't there? And tried.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Steve?
I just want to say, how close was it then between you deciding tennis and football?
I think football. I think
was it 50-50 or?
I thought that football had passed me by. With the tennis, but I used to have a reoccurring dream of scoring in the stadium. And it was exactly like, when I look back, it was exactly like that. It was exactly like scoring in the stadium, but it was so real that I'd wake up in the morning and be like, oh, shit, I'm not playing. I thought it was that real to me. But I thought it had passed me by. So the opportunity was just immense. And then that first few seasons, I had it all the time when I was playing. I never took it for granted, and I'd not, because I had sort of felt that it had passed me by. I felt like I really, really appreciate playing, and it was like the first season. I used to just drive home thinking, I cannot believe that. Like, I wasn't getting good money in that first season, but it was like I was thinking, I can't believe that someone actually wants to pay me to play. It was such a it was such a privilege, and I always think that when I talk to any younger players, I always say, sport isn't a job; it's a privilege. And while you've got that opportunity, take it, because it doesn't last very long. And it's like I always had that thought that your football is going to end, and you're still a young person. Then the rest of your life kind of begins. But I think you just got to grasp it with both hands.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
And the problem is, when you're young, that's not a time you generally are thinking like that, is it? Unfortunately.
No. I was lucky. I was lucky that I'd come away. And also with the tennis, you have to grow up really quickly because you're traveling on your own. You're 16. Yeah. When I was 16, I looked about 10. I've been around the world 56 times by the time I got back to football. Been on my own, and it was like, you're going to an away game, and they're taking your boots off for you to put them in a skip, because half the players probably wouldn't bring the boots if they didn't go in that skip. And it's like, in passports, you travel abroad, and everyone had to hand the passport, and it was like I was like so used to looking after myself, arranging, sorting everything out, sorting your rackets out, sorting accommodation out. I'd come from that, so it was so nice to be in a club environment and you're like in a little community in a club. And with like the support and everything that goes into a football club, and so many people that care. No one phones me about wanting to talk about tennis. it's like, it's, I spoke to my mum before this. She was saying, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just going on a podcast." I said, "I'm shocked that anyone actually even bloody remembers I exist." That people still. Football is like such an amazing game.
Well, I spoke to my dad today, and he's 90, and he remembers you. So yeah.
There's so much depth in football, isn't there? That it's like it's
honestly, there's a lot of people out there remember you.
Like big game, yeah.
My dad said, "Was that the quick one, the quick player?" He went, "Yeah, it was pretty rapid."
Yeah, and you looking 10 when you were 19 probably explains why you're now 50 and you look about 25. So we hate you already. So well done for that. I won't ask you to comment on that, but we just take it as a compliment. So that gets you into it. So you're a Sheffield lad originally then. So was that football from the Mansfield link? Was that because it was a relatively geographically close? Was Ivan who spotted you? Was he involved in that scene? Or?
Yeah, so Ivan's sort of operating in this area, but it's like every single good player that's gone through Mansfield in the last sort of 20, 30 years will have been him. Yeah. I can remember having a photo when I was there, and it was like 30 or 40 strong, of Diz when. So Diz was at Mansfield when. So Diz was one of the young lads when I was there, but Diz was Ivan,
Yeah.
And that whole team, like the team that Diz was in, was such a good team with. There was like Bobby Hassel, Liam Lawrence, Leroy Williamson. It was a brilliant side. I think they got to the semi-final of the FA Youth Cup. But it was like Ivan had spotted all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got any good Diz stories for us?
Stories?
Yeah. He's been on already, so we were about to tempt him back on to come and explain himself.
Stories about Diz, or
yeah.
Not really. Like Diz, he's.
Are you quicker than running?
What's that? Sorry.
Are you quicker than him at running?
It is. He's probably beaten on long distance, I think, but but Diz was always like he's just a really nice guy, like really, really sort of, really down to earth. But most of the guys are, It's like obviously I didn't play with Diz at Grimsby. He'd obviously come there after me, but I ended up playing in his testimonial. Because of obviously the Mansfield connection and everything, then obviously my connection with Grimsby, and he said, "Would you come over?" And I came over and played. But he obviously like a legend, isn't he? But he was brilliant at Mansfield as well. He was just a brilliant player.
Did he have leadership qualities as a young'un? Could you see leadership potential in him as a young'un?
Yeah. He's just like quality. Just like he like oozed quality, and it's like even as like a 17-year-old, so good on the ball. So he'd like that whole year they'd join in with the first team, and they'd normally beat him. It was like he used to joke. The youth team manager said, I don't want him training with the first team on the Friday because they lose confidence because he was so good. And so good on the ball, so comfortable, just a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, he was.
Really brilliant.
So having scored that fantastic goal against Shrewsbury in your first goal for Mansfield, you went on to play 65 times for them, getting 12 goals. How did you move to Grimsby come about? What's the story there?
So at the end, so I had 2 seasons at Mansfield. Playing mainly on the wing. I ended up going so I nearly signed for Huddersfield. So Lou Macari was manager of Huddersfield with Joe Jordan as assistant. So Huddersfield were in League One at the time, so Mansfield were League Two. My contract was up at Mansfield. They wanted to like Billy wanted to extend it, but obviously I had this opportunity with Huddersfield, so I'd gone to Huddersfield, was training with them, and then Huddersfield offered me a contract, and John, I can't remember exactly how it came about, but John Cottrell. So John Cottrell was the for me was the reason that I ended up at Grimsby, and obviously got that that amazing opportunity. So John invited me over, but it wasn't like Huddersfield had obviously they'd offered me a contract, and it was League One, and like Lou liked me, and I thought, you know, it's obviously a good club. Grimsby was like, this is an opportunity, and it was obviously Grimsby were in the division of which is like championship.
No, the championship, yeah.
And it was like, there's this opportunity. We're after a left winger, and I was like, right, okay, like not my favourite position, but you know, and it was also a trial. And it's like, do I walk away from the opportunity of this and take this chance? And eventually thought I'm going to take the risk. And so I came over and ended up playing against Doncaster, played on the left wing. And to say I had a bad game would be an understatement. I probably touched the ball about 4 or 5 times. And I can remember Lenny after talking to me and saying, I'm going to give you another game, but like basically you need to do more than that. And I said, Lenny, play me up front and you'll sign me. And he was like, don't need a forward. I've got 8. So I don't. And I said, Lenny, play me up front and you'll sign me. And he like walked away, and I was thinking, you know, Paul Wilkinson was taking the reserves, and I think that we played Hull, but I can't remember exactly, but basically was on fire, and John was like, he was a bit hesitant with me, didn't really talk to me too much. I think he was thinking, I'm probably gonna have to let this lad go, so I don't really want to, you know. And he was quite straight with me, didn't really smile or anything. Played against Hull, was on fire. We won 5-0, was on fire, but I missed about 2 or 3 chances. One of them I'd gone around the keeper and like blazed it over the bar. And walking off the pitch, and I looked up, Lenny and John was sat in the director's box, and I'd like looked up and I could just see John beaming. I mean, I thought, done it. And John got me in the car park after. He was like, brilliant. Lenny's going to talk to you tomorrow, but I think you've done enough there. And then spoke to Lenny the next day at the training ground, and he was like, right, going to sign you. You're going to have to play on the wing now, because I've got 8 strikers. You'd be number 9. And he went, and the other thing as well, you need to work on your finishing because it's abysmal. and I said, I get it. You watch that. I said, I'm not. I said, I'm a good finisher, but I don't know what happened there.
One-off game, anything can happen, can't it?
Yeah, but I don't need too many chances. But he, so so I obviously came in as a left winger, and which is where I played for. Well, I think I might have played 1 game up front against Coventry for Lenny, but the rest of the time was on the left wing, which was brilliant for me, because it was, you know, great opportunity to play in some brilliant matches with a really good team. But
your pace, sort of off the shoulder of the last man, seemed to get you in some really, really good positions a lot of the time, didn't it? And you used that to your advantage.
I think so, yeah. But if I obviously always got accolades for being quick, but when I actually look at my goals, most of them weren't anything to do with my pace. I think, I can finish off both feet. Like, I've scored as many goals with my right foot as my left. I trust my right, and also I'd never make any distinction. If I was running at someone, I'd never try to get it on my left. I'd just go whichever way I needed or I felt was the right way to go. And when I look back, probably my best goal, like my first goal against Shrewsbury, my first career goal was right foot. Some of my best goals for Grimsby were my right foot. Think like I scored, which I probably say was probably my best goal I scored was against Palace, where I'd gone through the middle, and that was right foot. Towards the end of the season, a crucial game. I think it was second to last game of the season against Burnley, when we stayed up. Both were right foot. So
3-1 that one, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I always think I obviously was quick and loved to play on the last shoulder, but I think with my pace, I probably get down the side and create chances for other people. But actual goals probably probably a few.
Noticed in looking back at your goals package, which is still available on YouTube if you haven't watched it for a while. There's a couple of finishes where if somebody gave a cross to me like that, I'd be saying, bloody hell, give me a chance. Like absolutely leathered across, absolutely flying, and you just got on the end of it and converted it. So yeah, you had some really good sort of first time finish skills you wouldn't see players attempt now in a lot of cases.
Finishing. So I always practice it, even as a youngster growing up. I put it down to my dad. So my dad, like, he never took me to a football match, but would just play hours and hours and hours and finishing. He was just obsessed with finishing. But every time I shot on my left, next shot had to be my right, and we'd just sort of really just instinctive. Just like I've always found it, like finishing. Like even now, if I go, like I just enjoy finishing. And I think it's one area where you see, even with top players, where you'll see someone and they're brilliant, and then they get near the goal and they like fall to pieces. Yeah. And it's like it's one area where I think professional football could improve by having specific finishing sessions. It's like you even see it now, and it used to drive me mad when I was playing, where they do a finishing session. It'd be the whole team doing it. You do like 10 shots in like 45 minutes, whereas like I would like to do, I love doing finishing every day. Some of the clubs, you actually got blocked doing it because they say, no, it takes too much out of your legs and blah, blah. Whereas if I got my way, I'd do after training finished, I'd do finishing for an hour, do 100, 200 shots. So I just think, training obviously helps having a bit of coordination and everything, but I think actual training is
Do you think the fact you played tennis helped your football in the coordination and watching the ball type of skills? Do you think they were heightened because of tennis?
I think so. Yeah, I think obviously you obviously need natural ability, don't you? Yeah. To play sport, and then I think a lot of it, if you've got good ability, I think obviously comes down to practice. It's like you wouldn't say to golfers, and tennis. It's like coming from tennis. Practicing your serve that you've got to hit, thousands of serves, so you're just peppering a target. And I think it's the same with football, but I don't think they're obviously the top finishers train like that. But I don't think the team, anyone who gets anywhere near the goal should be able to finish.
Yeah. The current Grimsby side are trying that philosophy now. David Artell wants goals from around the team, and last year 70 odd goals, and they were spread around pretty much, weren't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so so on from that, in that season you took over in place of Martin Pringle, who'd broken his leg. So you were behind a Swedish international in the pecking order there.
Yeah, I actually played with Martin.
Yeah, that ended his career, didn't it?
Yeah. And another like brilliant guy, and he'd obviously he'd done a massive amount in the game, but just like a really great, humble guy. And even after he'd done that horrific injury, he was coming to games. He was turning up at hotels, like see the lads and that. And it was just like
he was only on loan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
he's on loan,
What a brilliant character! What a brilliant person!
Were you there the night it happened? Did you see the?
Yeah.
What do you make of it as a professional footballer?
Disgraceful.
Yeah,
But
Town fans still remember Dave Challoner for it.
Yeah, but I think in football there's certain players that you can't relate to that they would want to. There's one thing being tough, but fair. Yeah. There's another trying to cripple someone, and it's like a tackle from behind. It's not brave. It's cowardly, and it's everyone knows who they are, don't they? You must people that
doing tackles like that, they're making up for lack of skill.
Yeah.
It's just nasty. It's just nasty, and I think there's certain players. There's certain people who are like that in there in life who just they're just like that, and it's like unfortunately in football, it's the same. You get all walks, don't you?
Yeah.
In better news for Grimsby Town, you got your first career hat trick against Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
You had to saw the match ball in half.
Yeah.
What happened there with the ball?
I
you're not fighting Alan Powell for it, are you?
Yeah, I actually got hammered because I think I'd had an interview after, and I think I'd actually said, I could have actually had 5 because I got brought down for both of Powell's penalties. And then it ended up in the programme as last one, like, Powell, have you seen this? What he said here? And I was like, oh my God.
He probably did too many stepovers.
Yeah. But yeah, another great player though, Powell's. Like, brilliant character, really good player, all action. But that crowd favourite. Yeah, I think that team that season, obviously with Lenny, this like started so well, and then it was just the middle bit. So we started really well, finished really well, and then we just had that like horrendous middle bit that, I don't know if we like ran out of steam, and it's like obviously you're a small squad in a division like that where a lot of the teams have got big squads. But it was just, I think that first 10 games, like being, up around the top of the league, I think it probably was probably a little bit too much, for everyone to absorb, and they probably got, rather than just really going for it and sort of doubling down.
I think everyone's getting worried we're going to get promoted.
Yeah, but it was like the end of the season. Obviously, there was some like brilliant performances in the season, but there was brilliant performances. The start of the season, like Johnny Rowan, Jeff.
Johnny Rowan.
There was Danny Butterfield. But without that start, we'd have obviously been down anyway. After Christmas, so it was like. We obviously had a brilliant finish, but you can't forget, how we started as well.
Yeah.
Was John Oster there as a young un when you were there?
No. So John came on loan. So when I came back, I'd got. So when I was at Villa, I'd gone on loan to Sheffield United. Got the worst injury that I basically had in my career. Was I tore 50% of the ligaments in my ankle. Sheffield United got me running on it, saying it was a sprain for like 2 weeks, and then Villa called me back, and I was out for 6 months, and then came back, played one game, Grimsby Grez came to the game, and then after they said, do you want to come back? And at that point, there was John Dean, who was the assistant at Villa. He was trying to get me to go to Norwich, who were top of the champ. But I just wanted to. At that point, it was like I'd had so much go on, and it was almost like I wanted to come home, and just be around. Like most of the players were still there, and it's like I just wanted to go somewhere where, you sort of felt at home and relaxed and could start enjoying it. But I'd got really bad bone bruising when I came back, and I think it was probably March time, so there's probably like 10 games, and I think I played 4 or 5 games, scored a few goals, and John was on loan. So me and John were roommates, so he was on loan. Yeah. I was on loan, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
And we were put together as roommates.
Yeah. It was nice that you felt comfortable enough to come home. That's what we like. But we miss out the bit where you actually moved to Villa. Your year contract was up. You'd scored. You'd been the top scorer with 11 goals, and you're offered another contract. But the Villa move came about. So how was that?
So the end of that season, I basically the phone was like white hot. So I'd like most of the clubs in the Cham, had Everton, Borough, Villa in the Prem. So I was getting like a lot of attention, that off season.
And we should have given you a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
in the first place.
Yeah. I got offered a 5-year deal with Palace.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, on big money, but it was like the like a club like Villa. It's there was probably only Everton that sort of compared to that, and it was like
big clubs.
Yeah, it was like in like hindsight, it's a brilliant thing, but like I probably wasn't ready. I think it probably needed a full season, and sort of scoring sort of 20 goals and really, go in there. I think a full season I'd have probably been ready, but going when I did, it was like, it was probably premature, but would I make the same decision again? Probably, because it's the huge clubs, and it's like, I don't care what any player says. They probably do the same.
Yeah. So you only regret the things you don't do rather than things you try.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we were delighted you came back. You came up for another season in 2003 on loan, and then the 3-4 season. Are your memories of that second stint?
So great. So when one person that I'd like to bring up, and it's from the first stint, was Bradley Allen.
Yeah.
So when so the reason I got put up front, so I was on the wing, Grovesy came in. So when Grovesy came in, I was on the bench. I can remember it was against Crewe, and I came on second half. It was a really that was the rock bottom for me of that season that we survived, was Crewe away. I think we lost 4-0, and Crewe were obviously down there with us, and it was like, holy shit, we're going to struggle here. So Groves put me on left wing. On the way home, like heated discussion on the bus, and all the senior players, and like I was very quiet in the dressing room, so I was just sort of sat there listening. But all the senior players were talking, like Wayne Burnett, obviously Grovesy's manager, and he was like, what, talk to me, tell me. And they were like, pace. We need pace, Gaffer. There's no, pace up front. So I'm sat there thinking, I'm the fastest player in the league, and if I'm not, must be like in the top 2 or 3. Got off the bus at Woodall, and Wilco's got off with me, and we're walking over the bridge, and I went, Wilco, and he was like, what? And I was like, I'm the fastest player in this league. Like, why wouldn't they play me up front? And he was like, yeah, like that. Got called in Monday morning, and he was like, right, playing you up front.
You've done well, though, actually, telling people to play you up front, haven't you?
Yeah. But I think what it is, and like I always say to people, if you believe it and you know it, you're not bullshitting. You're telling people as it is, and you've then got to back yourself up. You know, if you're saying it, it's like, well, all right then, show me. You know, so it's like, I don't think it's not arrogance. I think it's like it's confident in your ability, and I think if you believe it, but yeah. So but then they kept putting me up front with a big man. Yeah, so it was like kept playing up front, and it's like it's one thing that I've always found is like people like I'm not big, but I'm over 5'11", so I'm like just under 6 foot. Whereas when people meet me, they always go, "Oh, I thought you were about, thought you were like a
Rossi height.
tiny touch."
I
When I run, I stoop. So I think I made myself look small, but I never like playing up front with someone big who's basically just they're launching it. So their idea was, right, we're going to go in behind, but we're going to launch it, and the big man's going to flick it on. Well, when you're trying to run off someone who's doing flick-ons, it generally don't go where you want it to go.
Yeah.
But we were doing all right. I think we got a draw against Rotherham, and we were doing okay. And then obviously with like each time someone come in, they seemed to get injured. And then it fell to, I'm trying to think which game it was. I'm sure it was Sheffield United. I think it was Sheffield United that ended up playing with Brad up front. Was it Sheffield United? Yeah, I think it was Sheffield United. And we just like, what a player he was.
Yeah.
He was obviously like, Brad's smaller than me, but he'd got like the most immaculate touch. I've never seen a footballer with his touch. And he got like eyes in the back of his head. He was just
football awareness. Yeah.
Oh, he set me up for a goal.
It was a Wimbledon game. I just showed the clip of that. He clipped you in there.
Yeah,
like
round his shoulder,
round the back.
Yeah, round.
He wasn't even looking at you.
I'm offset to him,
yeah.
So he's not looking at me. And when I've watched that goal back, he doesn't even glance.
He didn't.
I've made a run, span off someone's shoulder, and he's bent a ball round him straight into my path.
Messy, like.
And it's like people have to go, oh, what a brilliant finish! Brilliant finish! What a ball!
Yeah.
It's like. But he was
a good finish.
He was like unreal to play with, Brad. And it was like I knew that at that point. I knew if I made a run, that him, or Butts like insane passing, and then they brought like Toddy in, who was like Toddy come out with the ball, and you went, and he's finding you, Cookie. You suddenly got a team with some serious, ballers in who I knew that if I made runs,
Colin Todd? Colin Todd.
Yeah,
Colin Todd.
Andy Todd.
Yeah.
Andy Todd.
Colin Todd's going back a bit.
Yeah.
His distribution was unbelievable.
Yeah. Colin was actually at the Burnley game. I can remember talking to him after.
It was his dad, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember his dad. Dad.
Yeah. Pau, Stacey. Just like brilliant footballers. And I think as soon as they knew you were going to be making those runs, they were looking for you.
Yeah.
It's really apparent for looking back again at the goals reel, which is, I say, it's on YouTube. If anybody remembers Mick, go and have a look and remember how good he was. He may still well be. I don't know. I haven't seen him play for a while. But the Bradley Allen link is mentioned more than once, if I remember rightly. That you talk about how well he's done to play you in and stuff. So that rings true from me watching it yesterday.
That was a proper footballing family, wasn't it? The Allens, Clive Allen, Spurs.
Yeah. I think he's down at Tottenham now, Brad.
For Wayne Bennett, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wayne's down there.
Youth coach. So you're in amongst the goals, and up to the back end of 2003, I think you got up into double figures, hadn't you, before Christmas? If I remember rightly,
yeah.
But after that, it went a bit pear shaped. You end up leaving town after Grovesy was sacked.
Yeah.
It says was that the decision? Grovesy going was like you.
So like with that, it's like I never spoke about it. Got a lot of stick for it, but never really properly spoke about it because I never wanted to disrespect the club.
Yeah.
That I felt had given me so much, and I'd got like so much respect for the club. But the reality, like I talked to Pouch about this as well, because we'd ended up chatting on the phone. We'd done something like this, and he was on, and we'd not seen each other since. And then we ended up phoning each other after and chatting. And I was like, this is what I felt of that, because someone brought it up then as well. And I said, this is what I felt. Like, did you feel this? And he was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. But it was around the time, so the club was struggling financially. They'd obviously gone down, and then it was apparent that they weren't going to go straight back up. They were obviously in the bottom half. Not as far, like when Grovesy went, they weren't as far gone as thinking that they were going to get relegated. And I still to this day think it was a huge mistake them sacking Grovesy. But the reality was the club was actively trying to sell me. They're trying to sell Pouch. I'd got a clause in my contract from Villa days where when I'd signed for Villa, a bloke, I'd had like agents on all the time. It's like, not using bloody agents, don't need agents, blah, blah, blah. And then a bloke said, I'll come down, I'll help you, I'll carry your bags and blah, 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 and drive you down, just make sure everything's all right. I'd gone down, ended up going for a medical. He was in the room with Graham Taylor. I'd come back. Graham had gone, right, let's talk money like this. Is this okay? Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, yeah, like, brilliant. Just ended up signing there. Walked out, this bloke was there and he's like, brilliant. Anyway, cheers. See you later. So I probably spoke to him for, maybe an hour and a half. He'd got paid, and I only found out when I was leaving Villa that he got paid 50 grand for being in the room for. So Graham Taylor's bought this, and I was like, "What's that?" And he went, "Your agent." I went, "He weren't my agent. Like, what are you talking about?" Right, and he was like, "Well, he's got the money, and I need to get that money back." So I ended up going. I think I went to Grimsby, ended up paying the 50 grand, and then, but it was in my contract that if someone paid the 50 grand, I could leave. But Grimsby were trying to sell me for more money. One of them was Hull, but there was all sorts of teams banding about, and it was like it was really unsettling. And when I knew that it was going on, but then people were trying to pretend that it wasn't. I'd got all sorts of people like phoning me and saying this and that, and they want to get rid of you. They want to get you off the wage bill, and they want to recoup this money. Whereas they were saying to the supporters, "Oh no, we want him to stay." Yeah, and it's a
mess. Sounds like a mess.
Yeah, and
it was a mess.
It's not an uncommon thing we've heard from the club of old.
Yeah.
which is a shame. For the
to be honest
sport,
with you, though, it's like I would never like. It wasn't John so much, and it's like I always like I know that it didn't end well, but I always got on really well with John. I always found him like really easy to talk to, and I think he did genuinely love the club. You know, but I think it must be such a tough thing, you know, owning and running a football club. You know, so it's you know, I think when things are going badly, it's like people, they want to vent the frustration, don't they? And it's like if things aren't going well financially, but it's such a tough balance, isn't it?
Yeah, and footballers get caught up as pawns a little bit in sort of those sort of games as a, you know, taking it dispassionately as a kind of a resource, don't you?
Yeah.
It's
Like
so
I
commodity.
like Grimsby by far is like my favourite team that I play for, and I've obviously played like my team that I supported as a boy with Sheffield United, and I loved being at Grimsby 100 times more than being at Sheffield United. It was such a brilliant place to play, with brilliant people right through the club to Mick, the kit man, you know, everyone. It was just like
Mick Boulding, if I remember right.
Yeah. He's great, another great guy.
I was going to ask you about the quote. Grimsby is the club I've been happiest at. I was going to say, is that true? But you've already.
It was like I'm not just saying it, but it was brilliant. Even the second time round, and it was like leaving, and when I went to Barnsley, it was such a like if I could go back now, I'd have stuck it out definitely to the end of that season. Even with like Grovesy, I felt very loyal to Grovesy, and I felt like he was badly treated. And it was like when he got sacked, he had to come back in and train with the team.
Yeah,
you know, such a like he's walked back in. Your gaffer's got fired, left, and walked back in as a player the day after, and it's like, what?
Wow.
No, you know,
that's tough.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm calling him gaffer in training.
Oh, really?
And he's a player, and it's like he's my. I call it if I ended up playing like a five-a-side up in Harrogate with everyone, and in Groves was there. Like call him gaffer. So it's like all my old gaffers I've ever bumped into them. They're gaffer. You know, to me it's like they'll always be. You know,
don't call me gaffer. I'm not.
yeah. But it's like I'm trying to think. Of the name of the guy who came in after manager. I don't know if you can remember. Actually, playing my brain's gone. So.
Just got to go in a minute, Dave. Back 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. Manager who came in, but I'd had dealings with him in the past, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. You know, I knew that he was coming in, and it was like, this is going to go the wrong way.
Who's the best manager you've played for?
Best manager, I'd say Grovesy for best man management. Best coach, I'd say Paul Hart.
Yeah.
Who came in? So when I went to Barnsley, Gudjon Thordarson got sacked after a few games of me being there, and Paul Hart came in, got rid of everybody apart from me and a couple of local lads, Anthony Kay and but he was a brilliant coach, Paul Hart.
Was it Nicky Law you were thinking of coming in after?
Yeah. So I played with Nicky Law Jr., who's like great guy. Yeah, really great guy.
I've almost forgotten about him as a ex-town manager now. That tells you what impact he had.
Yeah. He's all right. He's all right, Nicky, but
Yeah.
I think he's just a bit of a nutter.
But then we got, and after that, it was Russell Slade, who you'll know probably from Sheffield United.
No, I don't know. Never ever met Russell.
You'll know what I mean, though, Russell. From
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. It's pretty small world football.
Yeah. It is quite a tight knit community. So after that, you move on to Barnsley. Your goal record is remarkably consistent: 35 games, 11 for Town, 38, 15 for Town, 35 and 10 for Barnsley. So you had a decent season there in 2004-05, and then you went to Cardiff on loan. So what was that experience like when went out to Cardiff?
All right, it was
Lenny
was down there.
Oh, it was Lenny, was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Lenny got me down there. So it was a brilliant club, Cardiff. Like really passionate fans. But they're also like a good laugh. Enjoyed down there. Like football wasn't brilliant. And then so got to the end of that season. Trying to.
Then you went Rotherham after that.
So the end of that season finished, and I went. So pre-season, I was at Crewe with Dario Andrade.
Yeah.
So Crewe were in the champ. Ended up getting offered a contract. Ended up on the team photo, and then a few days before the season started, I phoned Dario and said, "Dario, my heart's not in it." I was 29 years old, and just said, "I'm quitting." Which, like, I look back now and I think, like, I'd had a pretty rough time at Barnsley, and I think it kind of like knocked the stuffing out of me a bit, and everything that went on at Grimsby, towards the end.
Yeah.
And I just felt really, really disillusioned.
Is that
with the game.
The brutality of it when you face unfit maybe, or is that what disillusioned you?
Yeah, I think it was just like I'd kind of like just got just fed up, and just so I ended up 6 months. I think it was 6 months maybe, but basically I went Alan nil. So my little brother Rory popped his head in. So Rory's 12 years younger than me. So Rory'd gone through the ranks at Rotherham, and then he was like, he'll be like 17, 18. So he'd been at Rotherham like a few years. He was at Sheffield United, Rory, and then Rotherham. So he was with Mark Robbins, and Robbo kept saying, "What's your brother doing? Like, what was he doing? Like, what, And then Alan Nill was the manager, and nearly ended up. So he ended up getting my number off Rory and phoning me. And I was like, and he was like, just come in and train. I got in and trained, and it's like you don't realise how fit professional footballers are until you have 6 months out. And I was still training. I thought I was fit. I was going down the running track doing bloody 300 and 400 meter runs all the time. I was thinking I felt that I was super fit, but you just don't. When you're chasing a football round, it's like it's unrelenting, and it's like you play friendlies or even reserve games, but you go into a league game and the pace just goes through the roof. It's
intensity.
Like, yeah. It's like
is that what fans know as match fitness? That
exactly.
Difference
and
between...
I always say 5 games for proper match fitness. So it's like you need to get through. If you've not been in the team for a bit, you need to get through those first 5 games and stay in the team, to settle in, and then you're literally going into games knowing that knowing that your fitness is flying. But yes, so I ended up going in, wasn't really fit. It was March. Ended up playing. I think I played probably 4 or 5 reserve games. and then it was off season. And in that time, Rory had gone to Mansfield and was doing, so he'd started pre-season there. And then Ivan had said, "What's Mickey doing?" And he went, "Nothing." He's like, looking for a club. And he was like, "Get him in." So I ended up going in, playing a season there on the left wing with Peter Shirley.
Oh, yeah.
Former
Chef Wednesday lad.
Yeah. And, like, really great guy. Yeah, really, really great guy, Shirley. And then Shirley got sacked. Billy Dearden came back in, who was my first manager.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, brilliant. Like, Billy's going to play me up front. Bench me and bought Baz Conlon and Martin Gritton in.
Oh, two ex-Mariners strikers.
Yeah. But I was just like...
Neither of them as good as you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you need to tell Billy that. But, yeah, so ended up... like, played a little bit, played on the left, like came on a sub for Baz and Grits and that, and then got to the end of the season, and Billy was like, "Want to sign you another season?" And I said, "I ain't playing on the left. You either start me up front or I'm off, basically." And he said, "Okay, I'll start you, but if you're not scoring, then you'll get benched, same as everyone else." And went away that off season, got really fit, came back, and then pre-season, like with the, going back to the finishing, the first day of pre-season, got a bag of balls, one of the young lads crossing them in, got a keeper in, and then I kept that up to the last day of the season. I think I scored 26, 27 goals that season.
Wow.
In a side that got relegated as well. And then I ended up going to Bradford after that. But I should have, I never felt, I always felt like sort of champ was, my sort of minimum level. And I think that obviously started in the lower leagues, but then it was kind of self-inflicted of having all that time out.
He played for the mighty Grimsby in the Championship.
That I'd gone back down, and then I'd scored those goals. I was going to go to Cheltenham, who were in League One, and ended up getting talked into going to Bradford. Like, Bradford had spent a lot of money. Stuart McCall manager, and they were going to, fly through the leagues, and it was like big club, and they'll probably do all right, but it didn't really happen like that.
No, but you still got a fair few goals from though. 16 goals for Bradford.
And to be honest with you, like Macaulay, he treated me like an old player, whereas I felt fit and I was fine. I was fine for 90 minutes, and I think I finished one match. Like, I scored, like, the first season I scored 13. I played 24 matches, and he dragged me off on 60 minutes every game. So it's like, obviously these days you get people's goals to minutes, don't you?
Yeah.
Whereas then it was just like, oh, you've had this many appearances and that, and it's like, but yeah, it's that's why I always come back to, and it's like, with young players, with Rory, it's like, some did a podcast for one. They went, "Oh, you dragged your brother along with you," and it's like, well, no, I went to Rotherham because of him. Then I went to Mansfield because of him, because he was there. He went to Bradford because I was there, but he shouldn't have really, and he ended up going to Scotland and doing well. But he finished at I think it was like 27. That he finished with injury and that. So.
And you pretty much played your last games in the league at Bradford, but you listed as Barnsley and Derby after that.
Yeah. So I went. So after that, I ended up going back to Mansfield for pre-season, and it was I can't remember the name.
This is the more recent stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, probably early Alzheimer's.
Sure, it's not that.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, so I ended up going back to Mansfield, but Mansfield were in the conference, so I went back for pre-season, but made it clear like don't want to sign. I would like come train, blah blah. So I went in, trained, and then they taught me into playing against Barnsley. So when playing against Barnsley, but it was behind closed doors. Like had a good game, scored, and Mark Robbins phoned me up that night and said, "What's your situation?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Do you want to come and sign here?" So I ended up signing for them. At the same time, Nigel Clough, I'd spoken to Nigel all the way through my career. So from my very first season at Mansfield, Nigel he was at Burton at the time, but he'd always phoned me saying, like, I know it's a long shot, but would you fancy coming to Burton? It's like I'd love to play for you, but like I don't want to, step down. I want to, keep going up. And then when he was at Derby, and he'd said when I signed for Barnsley, he was wanting to sign me for Derby. They'd just lost Chris, what's his name?
Howell?
Went to Celtic.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was just he went to Celtic, but they'd lost a striker, and he said, I'd like to bring you in and ended up signing for Barnsley. 6 months, didn't really play, and then had 6 months at Derby, and ended up pulling my hamstring in that 6 months. I can remember playing a training session and doing well, and the coach coming in saying, "First opportunity, we'll get you in." Played a reserve game or a practice game against Ilkeston and went pull my bloody hammy. And that was.
And did you decide that was it? Then was that the age you thought?
So finished the season. Yeah, finished the season, and then Clubby went, "Come in pre-season, see how you are." But I was 35. I was 35 then, and I came in. Ended up, and we'd obviously started this company as well. We'd actually started it in 2008, but it was kind of like really dribbling along. So it went like slow, and then obviously sped up after I'd retired. But so like I'd kind of like got that, in the background and that, and then so went in and did the whole of pre-season, and then said to him, I'm quitting, so must be and it was the hardest pre-season I've ever done in my
only
life.
player that's quit after pre-season.
I know, yeah.
Quit before pre-season.
He did. Cluffy did the same pre-season as his dad did at Forest, which was meant to be like legendary, and it was just like double sessions, and it was like I can remember they did one run on a golf course, and it must have been 300 or 400 yards, and it just progressively got steeper and steeper and steeper. But as that was the afternoon session, and we're driving on the bus to the session, and I was thinking, I can't actually walk. My legs were like that far gone. I thought I can't actually walk, and then you get moving again, and it's like,
Did you ever
really
get to meet the old man? Love.
Yeah, like really, yeah. But another brilliant person, Cluffy. Like really straight. Really honest.
Comes across like that.
Yeah, and I think he liked people who were just said exactly what they thought, and like when I did my hammy, it was it'd have been like March, April time or something, and they're obviously paying me, and I'm like, I had a week of going in, like sat about, and like, you feel like a waste of space. And it's like, I knew I wasn't going to play, and I walked into his office and said, I don't want paying. I feel like a fraud sat here to the end of the season. And he was just like, brilliant, like, thanks for, I just said, don't want to do it. It's like, and it's unusual, but yeah.
It's tough though, isn't it? That quick player at that age, it's a tough injury to come back from, and And
Yeah, do you know something? Towards when I got to that age, I used to get like shooting pain. It was almost like a nerve pain. But I ended up started doing yoga.
all right.
So I started doing yoga, and it completely went. Completely went, and it's like I still sprint now. Like I still sprint. I like train with nephews now, and I still. Someone said to me like most people like or it was like some statistic like 90% of people don't sprint after 30 years old.
Yeah.
They try to.
Wow. Yeah, but it's like I still like I love sprinting, and I like do it most days. You know, it's just fitness and that's.
Quick question: how fast could you do the 100 meters?
I don't know. I'd set. I'm obviously 50 now. But when I was playing, me, Rory, and Cookie, because Cookie lived in Sheffield.
Terry.
Yeah, Terry Cook. Yeah, so me and Terry ended up like really good mates, and also ended up brilliant mates with Iffy and Aura.
Oh yeah.
Yes, me and Iff were at Sheffield United, and then he still lived in Sheffield. So
he went Huddersfield, then he came to us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Terry Cook played for us.
Yeah.
Cookie was brilliant. He was brilliant. Like for me, he was awesome because he'd make a run and he'd put it on.
He'd come from the very top, hadn't he?
In Man United.
Man United and City, wasn't he?
Yeah, Man United, then Man City. Yeah. He was awesome. He was awesome. Yeah.
So was he quicker than him?
Yeah, this is my dad, by the way. Yeah, I could hear you coming there. My dad lives next door as well.
Is he quicker than you?
Yes, I've got Rory on that side, then my dad on the other.
Just can't get away, can he?
Wondering about.
I'm not an early forger, he tells you I am.
Yeah. He's Mick as well, by the way. This is the real Mick.
The real Mick Boulding, please stand up. Yeah.
Yeah. I always got called Little Mick, and he's Big Mick.
Nice to meet you, Big Mick.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll sort that. Yeah.
See you. Cheers. Nice to see you.
Cheers. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bonus guest.
Yeah.
We like this.
Yeah.
So
met the whole family nearly.
Yeah. Anybody else coming in? Did you say you met Old Man Clough? You got to meet him?
No.
I thought you with your link with Cloughie, you might have got to meet the old boy, but what a character. And then you've concentrated on your business since that. So what do you do in your business? I know you told us before we came on.
Yeah, so care. So it's like autism, Asperger's, LD. So we've kind of like on the business front, like Rory's operations, and I focus on the properties. So like development and so sort of any sort of refurbs, but mainly development. So like the expansion of the company, and then we kind of like meet in the middle with like the accounts and like the business side.
You went out of football with a plan then, and you've made it work?
Kind of, but I mean, you're kind of winging it all the time, aren't you? It's like nothing's certain.
Nothing's guaranteed, is it? No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not motivated by like money or material things. So it's like I think getting your teeth.
Good. Did Rossi tell you what the fee for this was?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Because the fact that you're not motivated by money is a good thing.
It's just like I think you need good projects, don't you? I think anything that's a quick fix is bad for you.
Yeah.
And anything that is like sort of deeply satisfying, hard work and sacrifice. Yeah.
If you want a quick fix, don't call Quick Mick. He's there for the longer run, for the satisfying job.
But it's like
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And talking about sprints, I took up marathon running at 49. Steve will vouch for that.
Wow. Yeah, brilliant.
And then gave in again at 51.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I love stuff like that, and it's like I've got so much admiration for people who are trying to do something or try something or I think it's brilliant. I love it. You see people out running and you can tell it's the first time they've got out. It's like, I feel like winding the window down and shouting some encouragement.
Get a wiggle on.
Yeah, they probably think you're taking the piss and telling them to F off.
Yeah.
Though, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I ran my first marathon at 50. The same run, didn't we, Dave?
Yeah.
What's that?
I ran my first marathon at 50.
Yeah,
Wow.
When I was 50, Only because my mate...
London? London or...
No, it was Manchester.
Yeah, brilliant.
We did the Manchester Marathon, didn't we?
We weren't linked, though. We hadn't agreed to do it together, and then we just happened to do it at 50. So we must be mad.
Yeah.
Did you do it in the Grimsby shirt?
No, I don't know what I did it in.
I
Can't remember. I was dying at the end.
Yeah, I did it for charity. So
Because my mate suggested it, we do it together, and then he dropped out. So I ended up doing it on my own.
Yeah, I did four. I did 4 in 2 years. Now the last 2 I did in 2 weeks. Did Manchester and London back to back in 2 weeks, which was a lot for me. But it was all part of the fun. Talking of things that are hard but are really enjoyable, we've got one last little feature we'd like you to take part in if you're still all right for time. Is I'm going to hand you over to Rossi, who's going to take you through something that puts you on the spot a little bit, but in a good way, in a fun way. Rossi, over to you.
Everyone loves this. I don't know why you big it up like that.
They do. They love it.
Yeah, Mick, I need you to tell me your high five. Now, when I say high five, I mean I want you to do your own five-a-side team with players that you've played with throughout your whole career. You need 1 goalkeeper, 1 defender, 2 midfielders, and a striker, and also your best manager.
So what is it? Goalie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So goalie would be Danny Coyne.
Wait for Dave to write it down.
So what is it? So what is it? Goalie and then what?
Goalie, then you need 1 defender.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be Grimsby. It can be anybody.
Yeah, okay. Any throughout anything.
Yeah.
We'll take Danny Coyne because he was good.
And we've had a lot of people come on this and burst out some ridiculous names. You think, when did you play with them?
Yeah. Midfield would be Merson.
Yeah.
Merson.
Oh, second time he's made an appearance.
Second time.
Yeah.
Who was that?
You had it before?
Yeah. I'd go. So up front, how many is it?
1.
1 up front.
Yes, I go Bradley Allen, and play with some good players as well. But
previous Paul mentioned, Merson mentioned was James McEwen.
Oh right,
yeah. Was town goalie back 2015.
Yeah. What have I had there? I've had 3.
You need 1 more. You got a defender and 1 more midfielder.
Yeah. So I mean, there were some good players at Villa, but I'd probably go Andy Todd. Yeah, he was awesome when
he was something else.
Yeah, when he came to the town team, you could tell how good he was just the minute he stepped onto the field, couldn't you? He was
just quality.
Yeah,
he's got a great header at Wolves. I remember him in an away game, and then defended for his life as well.
He's just a proper player, really good player.
Well, is it 1 more midfielder or is it midfielder, Rossi? We want 1 more.
One more midfielder.
What was that? Another midfielder?
Yeah, you've only got Merson.
You got Merson. You need 2 midfielders, 1 defender.
Could I drop Peter Crouch back into midfield?
Do what you like. It's your team.
Yeah, do what you want.
Yeah. I go Crouchy midfield.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's a baller and brilliant.
I saw
Crouch. Villa.
Hey,
where was Crouchy play with you?
Villa.
Villa.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we lived in the Belfry. So there was me, Crouchy. There was a keeper there, Stefan Postma. But Steph was 6'7.5", and Crouchy 6'7", and then me. So I was like,
So that's why when you're running, you look like you're 5'6".
Yeah, probably been photographed with them things, and they were like, yeah, midget.
Great, good team that.
Pretty good Welsh international keeper.
Oh.
Premier League standard centre half. Merson and Crouch and Bradley Allen. What more could you want?
Feel bad missing people out, but
well, that's the bit that's enjoyable because we had it was Lenny again. He went back, realised he'd left all his mates out, and thought,
yeah.
In fact, we actually had he had his team selected. We had to drop somebody, put somebody else back in. It was that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be interested in what manager you're going to select.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've had a few.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Graham Taylor is obviously a legend, but
Not Snowden, was it?
I'd probably go Nigel Clough.
Yeah,
Clough.
I thought
Yeah. I just think Clough is such a great guy, and he's like, his passion for football was something that I'd not seen before.
Yeah.
Talking about finishing, he stayed out finishing. Cloughie.
He was a good finisher.
Yeah. We used to do the same drill with someone crossing it in, and you got to volley it first time.
Yeah.
But be out for there was hardly any players who stayed out doing it, but he'd be there every session, loving it. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant player as well.
Did he play for England? Nigel Clough.
Yeah.
Not many times, but he did.
But I thought he was a fantastic player, finisher.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, scored some great goals for Liverpool, didn't he?
For Liverpool, yeah.
There's a great story about, I don't know if you've heard it, TalkSport, Dean Saunders talking about the story of Cloughie signing him for Forest, and the story about him getting his agent to go to his house and all that sort of stuff. It's a hilarious story. But he's explaining how he's trying to get Alan Hill and Archie Gemmell to really sell the club to Dean Saunders. And he's saying, come on, he says, our Nigel will be alongside you. He'll put you in for 20 goals or whatever, and he'll back you up with a load of goals. And he says, oh, your Nigel will love you for telling him that. But it's a fantastic story if you've not heard it. Brilliant. Yeah. So we've got Danny Coyne, Andy Todd, Paul Merson, Peter Crouch. So there's a few big names in there. And Bradley Allen, who you not only did you enjoy playing alongside, you profited from with his spider sense-like knowledge of where you were. And then Nigel Clough as the manager. That's a great high five for side team. So
I played with him. I played with Dion Dublin as well.
Wow.
He was a brilliant player. Talking about speed, someone who was quicker than me was Vassell, Darius Vassell.
It's quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
rapid.
Have you come across Dion Dublin in the property world yet?
No. But yeah, another person, another really brilliant character. He used to, I was obviously in the hotel there, and he'd come and sit and have a Guinness together and just like a chat, and he was just like a really, really good person. Brilliant advice.
He always come across as laid back.
But also he did things that he didn't need to do. So inclusive and that. And if you thought anyone was getting left out, it's drag them in and that. But just there's certain people you think you zoom and think, they're putting a bit of an act on, whereas there's other people they're genuinely like that. It's like Crouchy. He what you see on TV, that's his personality. He's just like really good guy, really funny. And that's him, whereas you'll see other people and think, you're not really like that.
Can you do the dance?
Did he teach you the robot? The first and only time I saw Peter Crouch play, I think, in live was at Blundell Park, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Yeah. And he scored in the first minute, I think. And then we were 3-1. Yeah.
So that game, I'm warming up, and one of the lads is there, and I was like, who the bloody hell's that?
He was only like 17 at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was like, he's not a professional footballer, surely. And they were like,
he never did look like one, did he?
They were like, there's loads of Premier League clubs after him. I was like, you're joking? He can't play football. Oh my God. Oh. Game started his feet they must have been size 15s, but I've never seen anyone with better feet.
Yeah.
He used to do tricks when we were at Villa on the training ground before. He used to do these curver tricks, and his feet were just electric. For such a big person, but it's I always think it's there's an image of what athleticism looks like.
Yeah.
And every time you see something else and think, so it's like I'm always open, and it's like young kids, people going, oh, they're too big or too thin or too little. It's like, takes all sorts, this game.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Crouchy and then you've got Messi, you know, so it's like, and a lot of in between, you know, so it takes every type. And I think that's why it's the best game in the world. You know, because
you can't judge a book by its cover, as they say.
Exactly, yeah, but it's such a full game because you could literally be 7 foot or 4 foot and be awesome. Yeah, you know. So
we had a player 6'9" playing against us in the last few years, Kyle Hodlin, who was at Solihull, scored against us in the playoff final at West Ham's ground. We managed to win 2-1. He's since been at Huddersfield, and he's now gone to play in the Vietnamese league. So just imagine him playing a lot of 5'3" blokes, and there's him 6'9". It's a ridiculous sort of a vision of the Vietnamese league. Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy, isn't it?
So, are there any other sort of big highlights from your career where you've been starstruck or anything like that, where you've met absolute legends, or
I've only ever asked for one person's shirt, and that was Dennis Bergkamp.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but
no, you ask, can't you?
No, sorry. There was one other person that I asked for their shirt on the pitch was Gaza when we were playing Burnley at the end of the game.
Oh, Burnley.
But the obviously because we'd won and we stayed up, the crowd ran on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I was asking him, and he went. Oh, sorry, I've already told Pouch he can have it. Obviously, Newcastle weren't it with him, and then he's like turned around and he's like sprinted off.
I can remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that game.
Yeah, so Gaza, Bergkamp like grew up idolising. So that was.
He's got some of the most ridiculous goals you'll ever see, didn't he, Bergkamp?
Oh,
Bergkamp, one of the best players I've seen.
Awesome player.
I meant to ask you earlier, but I've completely
just going back.
Moving on. So, how did you know Emlyn Hughes? What was the link with Emlyn?
So I knew his son. Right. So I knew his son. So we played in the same team. You know, like under 10s, like under 11s. So knew Emlyn for years, and Emlyn actually. Last time I spoke to Emlyn, he phoned me up after the Peterborough game when we were in League One, and I'd scored a goal. I scored like an equaliser in the last minute, and he phoned me and just said, brilliant goal, blah blah, like, fantastic. I just wanted to tell you, and I just said, how's it going? And he just said, not good. And I went, what do you mean not good? And he said, I think I've got a few weeks to live, basically, and that was the last time. But it
seemed to come around quick from
another like brilliant person who'd just got so much energy and enthusiasm. It came out of him. He was like, he probably looked enthusiastic when he was playing. That was just him, and he just got so much. To sort of give.
He was made for Question of Sport, wasn't he? I mean, he was on that. He was fantastic.
Yeah. But his son's called Emlyn as well.
Right. Legendary,
amazing person, and someone as well. When I look back and think getting back into football, you obviously need to be good enough when you get on the pitch. But there's a lot of people that don't get the chance. Yeah,
because people pushing them.
Young uns, it's like just keep going. If you while you've got the energy in that, I said you only need one person to believe in you, one manager to believe in you, and you're then away.
Yeah, the first person's got to be you, isn't it? And you've got to do it first, and then others believe in you as well.
Yeah, you got to work ridiculously hard, but then not get too despondent. It's like, I think with the academies now, I think they put too much pressure on some of the young players, and
and they get a lot young as well nowadays, don't they? They get a lot of almost
like
the matter
it's obviously a lot of people playing football, so it's almost like a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So it's like people get disillusioned or get injured, and they're like moved out of the way, and
you get some of these young players on 10 grand a week, and they've never turned out for the first team. You wonder how they keep their hunger, don't you? But,
Yeah. I mean, the money side, something needs to happen with it, because
right through the pyramid, some clubs won't survive. Some clubs won't survive.
It needs something for the health of the game, and to keep it for the purists and the people who love the game. Not to let it slip into that sort of almost like an Americanization in it of the sport.
Absolutely. It's been a fascinating ride through your career and your life around pre-football.
Hope it wasn't too boring.
And post-football. We're all still here. No, it's been brilliant.
I'll probably remember loads of stuff now.
You can always come back on at another time. You're part 2. You've not done as long as Pod Hammond, who was the lad from Ireland who played for Town in the 2015-16 season. He stayed one season and was kind of offered a bit of a rubbish contract and never came back, but still idolised by Town fans. He did 3 hours. We had to make 2 episodes out of him. Luke Waterfall, more recently, of this parish, who's now at Boston.
I actually played with Hodge in Dizz's.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
And Luke,
they're all helping me out, because they're obviously a lot younger than me. So.
Yeah, and Luke Waterfall's done the rounds in your neck of the woods, in the sort of Sheffield sort of area. And he's now at Boston as assistant manager. I think we had him on for nearly the 3 hours as well. We made 3 episodes out of him. So you've done well. You've done well to keep it concise. It's been an absolute pleasure, Mick. Thanks for coming on and reminiscing about the club we love so much, and we're pleased that your time there, albeit other than when you left, was a happy one, and it's nice to know that.
Yeah. Can I do a quick shout as well?
Of course.
Rossi, do you know Kerry then? Ziobri?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I sit behind it. Well, no, sorry, I sit in front of it. I'm just a ticket holder. No, Kerry for
I'd like to say a shout out to the Ziobris like Lynn, Kerry's mum, and Alan. So I used to live with them when I was at Town, and obviously they lived on the next street. But they were so brilliant with me, so brilliant.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah. When I went, so the end of year awards, when we stayed up, Alan went with me, so everyone thought Alan was my dad. So he went with me, and I can remember when we left, he had like a little tear in his eye when we left, because obviously didn't know what was going to happen, the next season and that. But Lynn and Alan and the family, proper people. And I'll never forget the kindness, and they made me feel so at home. But there was obviously 3 girls, but everyone was at in the house at the time. And Lynn used to make me these massive meals, but I'd come in from training and they'd be sat watching TV, and she'd go, "Get off the sofa." Like he needs to rest his legs and lie down. I'd be like laid out on the couch, and the girls would be like sat on the rug and that. But
they loved you.
Brilliant times. That's what I think about when when I think about the club in Grimsby. Is like the people around the club that I met, that coming in and out the club, and the people in the car park and everyone. It was like it was so brilliant.
There's a lot of people in the club who have been there a long time, are probably still there. That you.
Yeah. But it's a fantastic club. It's a fantastic club. And they've obviously got great owners now, and hopefully up and on.
We can go from strength to strength. We all hope so.
To a Bournemouth.
We all hope so. Anything else, lads? Before we let Mick go, it's time's cracking on now.
Mick? I think everything's been covered.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mick. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for inviting me, Dave.
And you did remember most of the things.
And Rossi, thanks for organising.
You're more than welcome. Rossi's our top guest booker, so he's pretty good. Although this week I've managed to secure a guest he asked for, so I do like to give back to him every now and again, because we don't give him we don't give him anything else, so we might pay him in other guests. So yeah, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much.
This is TNT Sports, Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
So yeah, lads, that was a really good conversation with Mick, and we met Mick Senior, Big Mick, he's little Mick, and his brother Rory, who was also a footballer at Rotherham and places like that. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that the other night. It was really, really good listening.
Yeah, family affair, wasn't it?
Yeah, his dad popped in as well.
Yeah. And they'll live near each other, don't they? So
they all live next door. So
never.
Yeah, it was really good to see him.
Yeah. No,
great player he was. I really like Mick Boulding when he was at Town.
Ridiculous,
so quick, fast, great finishing.
Ridiculous.
Finishing is just phenomenal.
And I just love the confidence of play me up front and you'll sign me. I mean that's classic, isn't it? That yeah. For some people that might see, he don't come across as a cocky bloke though, does he?
No.
But if he got that across in the right way, that's no doubt in his own talent.
He's just confident in himself, wasn't he? When he's saying that, I can't remember, watching the player and said, "I'm better than him.
Yeah,
I'm miles better than him." It's brilliant, isn't it? When you get that good.
And friends with some real legends like Emlyn Hughes, who encouraged him through his career, and he was quite moved talking about him, wasn't he? So that wraps up another fantastic week on Three Fish on the Shirt. That's our seventh episode of the season. As I say, please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. It'll help you if you want to join in our competitions, and we've got some big ticket giveaways coming up, so keep an ear out for that. And there's going to be a framed shirt giveaway as well towards Christmas time. So again, you'll need to prove you're a subscriber to claim the prize. More details to follow. And we've also got some hospitality as well to give you. So keep watching and listening, and we thank you for joining us once more. Steve, Rossi, thanks again, and I shall see you in the week.
You will. Yeah. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, and one last time today. Come on, you Mariners! Point on the road. Cheers, lads.
Good stuff.